Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
On January 20, 2026, Second Lady Usha Vance shared important news. It was the first anniversary of her husband, J.D. Vance, becoming vice president. She announced that she is expecting their fourth child, a baby boy, who will arrive in late July. This news was very special. Usha Vance is the first Second Lady in history to be pregnant while her husband serves in such a high office. The announcement caused many people to talk. It was not just about a new baby. It started a big discussion about the future of families in America. The timing of this news was important. The White House quickly sent congratulations. They called the Trump administration the most pro-family administration in history. This showed that the baby's arrival was connected to official plans. Vice President J.D. Vance has strong ideas about having more children, which some people do not agree with. These ideas are called pro-natalist policies. We will learn more about these ideas later. Usha and J.D. Vance already have 3 children, Ewan, Vivek, and Mirabel. Usha Vance is 40 years old. The new baby's due date in July 2026 is also special. It is close to America 250, which is the 250th birthday of the United States. Why did Usha Vance make this announcement on this exact day? What does this mean for how the administration sees the future of America? We will start to find answers in the next chapter. 2. A big news.
On January 20, 2026, Second Lady Usha Vance shared a big news. It was the 1-year anniversary of her husband, J.D. Vance, becoming vice president. She announced on social media that she was expecting a baby boy, due in late July. Her official post said she and her husband were very excited and that Usha and the baby are doing well. She also thanked military doctors and staff who support their family. This timing was notable. The baby's due date in July coincided with America 250, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States. This made the personal news feel like a hopeful sign for the nation's future, especially for the Trump administration. The new baby would be their 4th child. The Vances already have 3 children: Ewan, born in 2017, Vivek, born in 2020, and Mirabel, born in 2021. Usha Vance is 40 years old. Their family life was already a topic of public interest, with many watching their every move. The White House quickly reacted, sending congratulations. They called the Trump administration the most pro-family administration in history. This moved the personal news into a political space, presenting the pregnancy as a win for their pro-family ideas. This quick framing showed how a family event instantly became a public political statement, building tension. Having a new baby in the White House felt historic and rare.
Many thought it must be the first time such an event had happened in America's high offices. But was this truly a first? History holds a surprising answer that changes how we see this modern story. Not the first time. Many people thought Usha Vance's pregnancy was something new, but history shows it was not the first time a family in the White House had a baby. Still, it was very rare. It has been very unusual for leaders in America's highest offices to have children while they were serving. First, let's look at presidential families. President Grover Cleveland and First Lady Frances Cleveland had 2 children while he was president. Their daughter, Esther, was born in 1893. She was the first child of a sitting president born inside the White House. Later, their second child, Marion, was born in 1895. Even earlier, Thomas Jefferson's daughter, Martha Randolph, was the first person to give birth inside the White House in 1806. More recently, in 1963, First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy gave birth to her son, Patrick Bouvier Kennedy. Sadly, he was born too early and died after 2 days. For vice presidential families, such events are even more uncommon. Florid Calhoun, whose husband John C. Calhoun was vice president, had 2 children in 1826 and 1829.
But this happened almost 200 years ago. That was a very different time, with less media and different social rules. No sitting vice president in modern times has welcomed a child while in office, so Vice President J.D. Vance will be the first. This makes Usha Vance's pregnancy truly special. Her situation is different from past examples. Today, there is much more media attention. The Vances also have strong ideas about family values that are part of their political message. So Usha Vance's pregnancy is not just personal news, it is also linked to today's political discussions. To understand why this is so important, we need to know more about the woman herself. Who is Usha Vance, and how did she come to be at this important moment? The Second Lady. Usha Vance has a remarkable story. She was born in California in 1986. Her parents, Lakshmi and Radhakrishna Chilukuri, were Indian immigrants who came to the United States in the 1980s. Both parents worked in universities. Her father taught engineering, and her mother was a molecular biologist and university leader. Usha grew up in San Diego, showing great academic promise. She attended top schools. She earned a bachelor's degree from Yale University. She then got a master's degree from the University of Cambridge as a Gates Cambridge Scholar. After this, she earned her law degree from Yale Law School, a top program in the country. Her excellent education prepared her for a demanding legal career.
After law school, Usha worked for important federal judges. She was a law clerk for Chief Justice John Roberts, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, and Judge Amul Topar. These jobs are highly sought after by top law graduates. Later, she joined a prominent law firm, Munger, Tullis & Olson, for almost 6 years. She handled complex cases for major clients like Paramount Pictures and Disney. Many thought she would become a leading appellate lawyer. But in July 2024, she left the firm to support her husband, J.D. Vance, in his campaign. This was a big professional sacrifice. Usha met J.D. Vance at Yale Law School. In his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, J.D. Vance called Usha his spirit guide. He wrote that she helped him understand the new environment of elite schools, which was very different from his own background. As Second Lady, Usha Vance has become a powerful public figure. In April 2025, she traveled with her husband and their 3 children on a diplomatic trip to India. This visit was deeply personal, as her parents are from India and her children had never been there. She called it the trip of a lifetime. This trip helped strengthen ties between the United States and India, showing Usha Vance as a key bridge between cultures and a capable representative for her country. However, Usha Vance's life, marked by achievements and quiet influence, contrasts sharply with some of her husband's public statements.
Vice President J.D. Vance has often shared strong views on women's roles, family, and power, which have caused much national debate. 5. A plan for more babies. Vice President J.D. Vance has spoken many times about a big idea. America needs more babies. 5 years ago, he said that the country's birth rate was too low. He believed this was a problem for everyone. He told people that our people aren't having enough children to replace themselves. That should bother us. He often explained that children are not just good for the economy. He said children are good because people are not sociopaths. He truly wants more babies in the United States of America. Mr. Vance has suggested different ways to help more families have children. One idea is for people without children to pay higher taxes. He said this is because families with children get a child tax credit, so people without children should also pay their part. He wants this child tax credit to be even bigger, maybe $5,000 per child. He also thinks it should be easier for families to live on one parent's salary. This way, one parent can stay home and care for the children. He has even said that banning harmful content for young people could help more people marry and have children. His words have often caused strong reactions. In 2021, he talked about childless cat ladies. He used this phrase to describe some political leaders who do not have children, like Vice President Kamala Harris. He said these leaders do not have a direct stake in the country's future. This comment made many people upset. Critics said it was unfair to people who cannot have children or choose not to. Mr. Vance's ideas are similar to those in other countries. He has praised leaders like Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Mr. Orban has policies to encourage more births. Some people worry that these ideas connect to a harmful idea called the Great Replacement Theory. This theory suggests that immigrants are coming to America by design to replace the voters that are already here. Mr. Vance has said that bringing in many immigrants makes homes too expensive. This, he argues, stops young Americans from starting families. The U.S. birth rate is indeed low. In 2023, it was about 1.6 children per woman. To keep the population steady, the rate needs to be 2.1. This lower number can cause problems for things like Social Security. However, some people say that immigrants actually help the economy and the population. They also say that families need basic support, like good wages, affordable homes, health care, and child care. These things, they argue, are more helpful than just talking about having more children. The debate continues about the best way to support American families. 6. New rules for families. The Trump administration, led by President Donald Trump, began putting its ideas about family into action. In July 2025, a major law called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act was passed. This law changed how the government helps families with children. One big change was to the child tax credit. Before, it was $2,000 per child. The new law made it $2,200 per child. This amount will also go up with inflation in future years. The part of the credit that families can get back, even if they owe no taxes, also went up to $1,700 per child in 2025. However, the law also added new rules. Now, children and at least one parent must have a Social Security number to get the credit. This means about 2.7 million children in America might not get this help anymore. These are often children from immigrant families. This change shows the administration's goal to limit government help for immigrants. The new tax credit helps some families, but not all. Around 23.8 million children will get more money, but families with very low incomes, earning less than $26,000 a year, will not see much change. And families earning less than $2,500 a year will get no money from the credit at all. So the poorest families often receive the least help. Another new idea was the Trump accounts for newborns.
These are special savings accounts for children under 18. The government will put $1,000 into each account for eligible U.S. citizen babies born between 2025 and 2028. People can add up to $5,000 each year. The goal is to give children a financial start. Experts are still studying if these accounts are the best way to help, compared to giving money directly to families for their daily needs. Overall, some parts of the new law help families, but other parts make it harder for working class and lower income families. Some say it helps as many families as it hurts. With these new rules and the Vances expecting their fourth child, many people see a perfect family example. But managing a family with young children while working in the White House is not easy. How do the Vances deal with all the pressure? 7. A busy life. The Vance family lived a life full of public duties and private moments. It was not always easy to balance everything. Being in the public eye meant their children also felt the constant attention. The vice president spoke about this openly. Their oldest child, who was 8 years old, did not like the cameras. He wanted a private life away from public view. When he saw cameras at White House events, he did not enjoy it. So his parents tried their best to keep him out of the constant spotlight. However, their 5-year-old child felt differently. He was more outgoing. He liked being treated specially. Wherever he went, people often gave him candy or cookies. This showed how each child reacted to their unique life in such an important family. Sometimes the children even traveled overseas with their parents. They would board Air Force Two in their pajamas for long overnight trips. This helped the family stay connected while doing official duties. Second Lady Usha Vance also faced big changes in her own life. She had a very strong career as a Yale-educated lawyer. Many people thought she would become a top litigator, handling important court cases. But she chose to leave her high-powered work to support her husband and care for their growing family. She said that she certainly missed working in her legal field. However, she was very thankful to have the time to make sure their home life was as normal and stable as possible. This was a big personal and professional sacrifice for her. Their busy life was possible because of much help. The Vances had military doctors who took excellent care of their family's health needs. They also had many staff members who did much to help daily with their home and children. These people made it possible for the Vances to serve the country in their roles and still enjoy a wonderful life with their children. This kind of extensive support is very different from what most American families have. Average families often struggle without such help for their daily lives and childcare. The family's personal choices and their highly visible life have massive public consequences. As the story continues, we will connect all these pieces to see what this one family's story ultimately means for America's future. 8. What this means for America. This final chapter looks at what the Vance family's pregnancy means for America. It brings together many ideas from past chapters. This new baby is more than just a family event. It has become a symbol for the whole country. America faces big questions. Fewer babies are being born, which some call demographic decline. People also think about how men and women's roles are changing.
There are strong disagreements in politics, too. The Vance pregnancy shows these different ideas. One important tension is personal happiness versus political plans. The Vances are happy about their new child, but this pregnancy is also used as part of the administration's goals for family policy. The family talks about traditional values, but many people live modern lives. Also, the Vances have many helpers and money. Most American families do not have these things. This shows a big difference between their lives and the lives of millions who struggle financially. Vice President Vance has often talked about wanting more babies in America. He believes this is important for the country's future. The administration has made new rules for families, such as changes to child tax credits. These rules aim to encourage more births. However, these changes do not help all families in the same way. Some poorer families get less support, and immigrant families face new problems. Second Lady Usha Vance, at 40 years old, is a very successful lawyer. Her pregnancy also highlights discussions about women's careers and family choices. She chose to step back from her job for her family and public role. The birth of their fourth child is expected in July 2026. This date is important because it is when America celebrates its 250th birthday. This timing makes the baby a symbol of new beginnings for the nation. Ultimately, this one family's story reflects America's deepest worries and hopes for the future. It makes us think about the kind of country we want to build. What do you believe this pregnancy tells us about America's future?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world.